Hi, everybody. As promised, I am hopping on New Year's Day to wish you all a very happy new year and to support you in getting your word, your focus for the new year if you'd like support. So I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to hop on, and I am so excited. Hey, Richard, I'm so excited about the new year. 2019 is going to be an awesome year. I know so many people who are at the new beginning of so many endeavors, including myself, and I'm excited about that. If you're watching, hey, Liz, Happy New Year. I know Liz also is at the beginning of new endeavors, and we're very excited about this upcoming year. So I'm here to support you today to get your word for the year. And I want you to, it is going to be an effing amazing year, Liz. I agree with you. And I want to support you to get a word, a focus for the year that really challenges you at a very deep level to have an inner revolution. You know, so many times people get words, like fit. I'm going to get fit. Well, that might be an inner revolution for some people because it would require a level of self-love that they've never had before. But often they don't think about that aspect of it. They just think of the superficial, or I want to make a bunch of money in 2019. I want a new boyfriend. I want a house. But they don't think about what kind of an inner revolution that's going to challenge them to have in order to get that. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome. Liz said her word is freedom, emotional, financial, and spiritual freedom. Well, I'd like you to say a little bit more. Hey, Lynn, welcome. I'd like you to say a little bit more, Liz, about what kind of an inner revolution would it take in you to have freedom, to live freedom? What kind of shift in the ways of being, what kind of shift in your ways of thinking, shift in your ways of seeing yourself? So I know you can do it because Liz is a fellow counselor with me, but I want you just to go deep and share that with us because that is the exciting thing about the word for the new year is what kind of an inner revolution does it cause, challenge in us. So even if you've already done this before and gotten your word like Lynn was on a couple of days ago when we were doing one and go in there again and see if you can come up with a different word for today because it may have evolved even in 2 days. So that's the challenge for us all is to, the new year really is a completely artificial demarcation, isn't it, in our lives? We could pick any day of the year and say, oh, it's a new year, let's get a new word. But it doesn't matter if it's artificial or not because we have assigned it this special meaning. And so let's use it. Let's use that and make it real. Even though it's an artificial demarcation, we can make it real and meaningful because that's all it takes is for us to make it meaningful. Lizzie says to stop letting my ego dominate me. Don't know of one word. What about wholeness? Because Lizzie, if you energize your wholeness, then you will not be letting the ego dominate you because you will realize always that you are so much bigger than just that little aspect of you called the ego. So just for the moment, you can think about that and see if that fits for you, energizing and focusing on wholeness for this year and on you. And for me, that means strength, that realizing how strong you are, Lizzie. And I know you, and I know that you are strong. You're a very strong person. So, maybe strength would be a better word, but wholeness really appeals to me because it doesn't throw out the ego. It integrates it, into the whole of us and just recognizes that it's not dominating because it doesn't need to dominate because it's got so much support. And, I could go off on that for an hour of talking about how it's the lack of support that is what is hurting us all to begin with and makes the ego be dominant is because we don't get enough support. So, hey, Stacy, welcome. We're all intuiting a word or a focus for the year. Lynn asks me to intuit a word for her. I don't know. The first word that comes to my mind is connection. And, let's just cogitate on that for a few minutes. Lizzie says she wants to integrate her ego, and I think that's a very healthy attitude. So many people want to try to get rid of it, but you can't get rid of it. It's part of you. Richard says passionate, and I agree. That's a great word for you, Richard. Passionate. And what is the inner revolution that would require from you? I want you to think about that and put it in your comments. Think about what kind of an inner revolution would it take from you to truly feel passionate about your life, whether it's washing the dishes or cleaning the garage or working or exercising or whatever it is. What kind of an inner revolution would it take from you? And I don't know if you're saying, Lynn, good one for connection. I want to add something to that, because connection can mean what we normally think of it meaning, connection socially and getting out there and engaging more. Hey, Don, welcome. We are talking about getting our word for the year, for a focus for your energy. And I really want you to come up with one that challenges your ways of being. So you'll catch on as you listen to other people. So Lynn asked me to intuit a word for her, and the word connection came up. It doesn't just mean the connection to the world, connection socially. That's what we usually think of, and that's good. That's awesome. We all need connection socially. It also means connection to ourselves, connection to what we need the most, self-love. So it's not just connection to get love with others, it's also connection to self, and it's also connection, in my eyes anyway, it's also connection to that higher power energy, to source, God, the universe, whatever you believe in. And that is equally important. So the word connection is a really rich, deep word that can mean many different things. It can mean connection to your dog, connection to your job, connection to your passion. I love that word. So I was going to say good one, but I came up with it, so I can't say that. I can still say that it's a good one because it didn't come from me. It totally came. I sat down and meditated before this and asked for guidance and to keep my ego out of it so I could just be guided. So connection just came through me. And Lynn said it works great with her other word, which is self-care. So absolutely, self-care depends on our ability to connect to ourselves and love ourselves. So I haven't heard back from Richard about what kind of an inner revolution it would take for him. And Dawn, what word pops into your mind for a focus for the year? Hey, Brandon, welcome. We're talking about getting a word for the year, something to focus our energy on, and something to welcome in and co-create from the universe. So I'd be fascinated to know. I think you've shared something on Facebook sometime before, but I'd love to hear what your word is, Brandon. And David Stedman, welcome. So great to see you here. We are getting a word for the year, and whatever that is we can interpret it. That's what I'm here for, is to help you go deep. And if you can't intuit a word, I'll intuit a word for you. Liz is talking about freedom as her word, that she's free and no longer holding herself back and being in her power. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the inner revolution that is required from Liz to live a life of freedom financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, is to no longer hold yourself back. So it's really freedom from limiting ourselves, isn't it? That is so true. When we talk about freedom, so many people think, oh, it's free love, or it's free to do anything I damn well please, but it's not really that. That is not really freedom. That is just being guided by your compulsions or your impulses. But real freedom is the freedom to not be limited by your thinking, your negative thinking, and to be open to just being guided by the universe. That is real freedom. Freedom from the ego is real freedom. Brandon's word, yes, was curiosity. I love that word. But I'd love you, Brandon, to go deep and ask yourself, what is the inner revolution that is going to be required from you to live in the energy of curiosity all the time? I have some thoughts, but I really want to hear from you about what what you believe the inner revolution would be in order to be curious. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Richard says that in order for him to be passionate about his life, it would require presence, perseverance, daily intention, looking inward, acting outward. Absolutely, all those things. I think another thing that it would require in order to be passionate about everything is to be passionate about ourselves, to stop the self-hatred and the self-criticism. Because being passionate really just means being present to the awe and magic of life, because it is unbelievable. Life is an unbelievably curious, passionate, connecting endeavor, with lots of challenges in it. And if we can not beat ourselves up, then we can engage with it passionately in every moment. And Lynn says she loves the feeling of community here. Me too. It is so much fun when people hop on and we get to share each other's experiences and each other's energy. So Lisa and Dustin or Shirley are both, what we're doing is getting our word for 2019, a focus for our energy, and something that can help guide us in 2019 to cause an inner revolution inside ourselves, to be different. To be different inside so that we can be different outside. So I'd love to hear what you guys get intuitively as your word for the year. Let me talk a little bit about the excitement of a new beginning, and even if it's a completely made up new beginning like the Happy New Year, it's a made up demarcation, but we give it meaning because it can help us. It can help us to be excited about our lives. And, I wrote a post on Instagram and Facebook this morning about, I just got blocked. I have no idea what I was going to say. I'll just keep talking and it'll come to me. But right now I have absolutely no idea. None. And in the world of intuition, that means that there's a block somewhere. I don't know if it's my block or somebody else's block about this topic of the new year, and it's never too late. That's what I was going to talk about. So thank you, block, for shifting. I was saying, it's never too late. And I don't mean that in terms of kind of a silly thing that I put on there that, I'm not going to become a prima ballerina at 69 or have a baby in a natural way. People are having babies at ridiculous ages, but in a natural way. And I'm not going to be an astronaut. But the experience of being a prima ballerina, the connection to the body, the connection to expressing yourself, to music, the connection of grace and self-expression, that you can have. It's never too late to have that. I don't care if you're on your deathbed and you don't even have a body anymore, hardly. You can still connect to music and express yourself in a graceful way, even if it's in your mind. It doesn't make any difference. And that's what I mean by it's never too late to embrace and enrich your life with the things that you think are long gone. And if you want to have the experience of that you would think you would have by having a baby, if you want to have the experience of having a baby and the impact of it, well, you can do that even on a child. You can do that. Hey, Sherry, welcome. We're talking about getting a word for the new year, and I would love to hear what you intuit your word to be. So the experience of having a child and having an impact on a child, you can have that even if it's too late, quote unquote. Hey, Karen, welcome. We're talking about what does it take. We're talking about the new year and getting a word for the new year. And Brandon is asking, what does it take to step into that energy and reality? Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about when I say that we need an inner revolution, is what does it take from us? And Brandon's word was curiosity. So I was asking him, what does it take from Brandon to step into that energy and reality of curiosity? And for all of us, Richard's word was passionate. And what does it take from him in order to be passionate? It takes an inner revolution, because he often doesn't feel passionate about things. So it takes an inner revolution, and then that needs to be turned into, of course, into the action of and an energy that you put into your life. And that's what we're here to support each other with. We're having a word party. So please throw out your words so we can keep having our party. So I was talking about it's never too late. And, being 69, and some of the people on here also are, of my age group, and many people are way, way younger. Hi, Rebecca. You're one of those way, way younger ones. But it's never too late. It's never too late. Liz says she loves the idea of an inner revolution and she's ready. And man, I am ready too. And I'm having an inner revolution. And I don't care if I'm 69 and some of you are 30 or in your 20s. It doesn't make a bit of difference how old you are or how young you are. We've already gotten ourselves into some bad habits. Yeah, Liz, I know you're young. I'm young. I feel young too. I swear to God, I don't remember that I'm older than people who are 30. I just don't remember. It just is irrelevant to me, because as long as we are giving ourselves the opportunity to have new beginnings, we are young. We may not look young, but on the inside, we're young. We're passionate about life. We're co-creating and recreating and creating for the first time experiences that we've never had. And that's all that matters. And I don't care whether you're talking about wanting to have good sex with your partner, or wanting to have good sex with yourself, or whatever. It's all about feeling alive and feeling that you're growing and changing and passionate and connected to yourself and the universe. So, that's what I'm all about for the new year is, how can we motivate ourselves and keep ourselves motivated? And having a word for the year is an awesome way of doing that, because it helps remind us, oh yeah, my word for the year is bold. And hey Dorothy, I need that word for the year, bold, to remind me to do things like get on this Facebook Live and wonder if anybody's going to show up, wonder if I'm going to have anything to say. But I just connect to higher consciousness and I ask for guidance and I just push myself through that ego resistance. It's all ego. It's all bullshit that tells me you can't, you shouldn't, you mustn't. Forget it. I don't care what that says. Thank you for the love, Dorothy. And I want to hear your word for the year, Dorothy. I met Dorothy and several of these other people at a wonderful emotional intelligence leadership series of workshops called Ascension Leadership Academy, and it's all about the transforming and so forth. And a bunch of the other people on are from the innerrevolution.org, which is another community of people who are dedicated to transforming and helping make the world a better place. And if we don't have that as our goal, to transform ourselves and help make the world a better place, we are going down a dull path. Okay, word for the year for Dorothy is faith. I love that, and I'll tell you why. Faith doesn't mean, I don't know why it makes me cry. Faith doesn't mean things are going to go well. Faith doesn't mean that you're not going to have challenges, whether it's in your job or your marriage or with your children or whatever, or the whole world at large. Faith does not mean that things are going to go well. But faith means that when you can't see the light, I don't know, this really touches me. When you can't see the light, you hold on. You hold on and you look for a light from another source if you can't feel your own. So I love faith, and I love that you brought that up, because, in these times of turbulent, the world is so turbulent, we get to remember that there is faith, that there is love, that there is support always there. And look at the support that we're co-creating together just in this live video today. This is what it's about. This is the essence of what helps remind us that faith is worth having. So thank you so much for that. And Stacy says that her word is prosperity, and her inner revolution means prospering in her self-love, prospering in her connection, and I have to press C more, with other inner revolutionaries, prospering in her work, her passions, every aspect of her life. And I think when that you got the first thing you said is the most important, Stacy, is that in order to have prosperity, the feeling of abundance, the experience of abundance, it has to come from self-love first. If we do not love ourselves, and feel worthy of receiving all the blessings that the universe intends for us, then we are not going to feel prosperous or abundant on any level, not physically, emotionally, materially, spiritually. We have to feel that we are worthy of receiving all the beneficial energies that are meant for us. And that phrase is right out of a book, Living with Reality by Beth Green, which has been, an incredibly powerful book for me. And you can get it free at theinnerrevolution.org. And the meaning of receiving all the beneficial energies that are meant for me, and when I think of that, it's, and what Beth intended, it's not just money and good health that's coming my way. It's all of the beneficial energies, and beneficial energies, and I think this is so important as we go into 2019. Beneficial energies are any energy that supports your evolution. So that means, the drug addiction in the past has been a beneficial energy because it supported your evolution. The losses that we've experienced, the challenges that we've experienced, and still experience. I mean, let's face it, we are all experiencing challenges all the time. The birth of your child didn't go as expected. The entrance into college didn't go as expected. The husband, wasn't faithful 365 days. And, so, it's like, that's a real challenge. These are all real challenges. But you know what? If we allow ourselves to receive and believe that those are beneficial energies meant for us, along with the love and the support and the finances and everything, it's all beneficial energies that are meant for our evolution, we can have a completely different attitude about whatever 2019 brings us. And I do believe that we can also accentuate the positive. We can accentuate, and that's, if we can learn something from every painful experience, that's accentuating the positive. Liz says, I love faith. It goes beyond trust to believe even when we have no evidence. It was my word in something or other in Discovery for 2018. So that's awesome. And one thing I think we can all recognize in this process that we're going through today together is everybody's word is everybody else's word. Don't we all want freedom like Liz? Don't we all want faith like Dorothy? Don't we all want to be passionate like Richard? Don't we all want to be free from the domination of the ego and feel our wholeness like Lizzie was saying? We all can benefit. And this is the beautiful thing about community and the beautiful thing about social media is that we can all be here together no matter where we are in the world. We can all be here together supporting each other and creating a community in which we feel safe enough to put ourselves out there. That's what it's all about. So that when the tough times come, we have a community that we've built. And Stacy said that's just what she was getting. This is our community. This is our connection. This is what we're here for, is to build our tribes that help us to be our best. And that's what 2019 is about and what 2020 will be about, and on and on and on, is about owning our lives, owning them. This is my life. And as far as I know, it's the only one I'm going to get. I can tap into past life energies and do past life readings, but I don't know whether those are real or whether those are just a constellation of energy, and I don't care. The only life that really matters to me is the life I'm having right this time, right now, this moment, this day. And I want to make the very most of it that I can. And that means that I have to learn to live with reality. I have to learn to live with everything that comes my way. And getting a word for the year is a way for you to channel your energy and to keep remembering that it's never too late to grow. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to keep reaching our potential one moment at a time. And we can help each other do that, and we can be reminded to do that by having a word for the year. So I'm going to close now after that summary and that little talk about encouraging you about loving your life. Love your life now and help other people love their lives. And you'll have a great life. And happy 2019 from my heart to yours. I'm Helen Hillix, intuitive counselor and spiritual coach. And I love you all, and I really appreciate you being here because it makes these lives so much fun for me when I have an interactive audience, and you've just been fantastic. So, love you. Happy New Year. Talk to you soon. Bye.